to another episode of Doodling Through Education. For my CC students, this is Cycle 1, Week 21 Science. For everyone else, that just means we're going to be talking about the 5 circles of latitude. Before we get started, make sure you head on over to doodlingthrougheducation.com. Grab your workbooks there. You can purchase them by quarter. So if you're just hopping in, you can purchase just the last 6 weeks for these videos, but they've been designed to go along with the videos posted on doodlingthrougheducation.com. They help your student to expand upon everything that they've been learning in these videos. And there's a link for that website in the description. Without further ado, let's start doodling. Like I said, today we are going to be talking about the 5 circles of latitude. And these include the Arctic Circle, the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, the Tropic of Capricorn, and the Antarctic Circle. Before we talk about these 5 circles, we need to talk about what latitude and longitude are. Latitude and longitude are a system of lines that are used to describe the location of any place on Earth. So lines of latitude run in an east to west direction across the Earth, and lines of longitude run in a north to south direction. Although these are only imaginary lines, so they are not real lines located on the Earth, that they are imaginary lines on maps and globes that are used to describe where something is. So lines of latitude circle the Earth parallel to the equator. What is the equator? Well, the equator is an imaginary line that lies halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. It runs east-west all the way around the Earth. So these lines of latitude, therefore, then describe these positions located north and south of the equator. Lines of latitude are measured in degrees. And these degrees can be broken down into even smaller units called minutes and seconds. So the equator is 0 degrees, the North Pole is 90 degrees north, and the South Pole is 90 degrees south. So all the latitude lines north of the equator are numbered from 1 degree to 89 degrees north, and all of the latitude lines south of the equator are numbered from 1 degree to 89 degrees south. So let's hop into talking about some of these circles of latitude. So there are other important lines of latitude besides the equator. So the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle surround the coldest regions of the Earth around the North and South poles. These Arctic regions are some of the least populated areas on Earth. And specifically, the Arctic Circle is located 66 degrees north, and the Antarctic Circle is located 66 degrees south. Next up, let's talk about the tropics. And so the tropics are the region of the Earth's surface that is closest to the equator. So the area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn is called this tropical zone. It is generally known for the hottest weather on Earth. And the Tropic of Cancer is located at approximately 23 degrees north, and the Tropic of Capricorn is located approximately at 23 degrees south. So these are 2 imaginary lines, just like the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle, that circle the globe and mark the boundaries of the tropics. So the Tropic of Cancer marks the northernmost edge of the tropics, and the Tropic of Capricorn marks the southernmost edge of the tropics. This part of the Earth between the equator and these two circles of latitude is the only part of Earth where the sun sometimes shines straight down on it. And because this sunlight is so strong, that is what makes these areas the warmest parts of the Earth. And so because of this too, the temperatures don't greatly change much between winter and summer, but most areas located in here do have a rainier season and a drier season. It is also important to note that places closer to the equator tend to be the wettest and have dense rainforests. The largest tropical rainforests on Earth lie in Brazil and parts of Africa. As you move away from the equator, going north or south, the farther away you travel, the drier these tropical regions tend to be. The forests may change from a rainforest, which is typically very wet, to more of a deciduous forest, which means, if you remember, that the leaves will fall off during the drier periods or during the winter. It is not uncommon to also see some grasslands in these areas as well. Two of the Earth's biggest deserts, the Sahara and the Kalahari, lie within these edges of the tropics, which makes sense because they are in the more northern part of the tropics, but still in the tropics, which makes it a very hot climate. Many of the plants and products that people use come from the tropics, and some of these include bananas, coffee, cocoa, rubber, spices, and even nuts. So let's talk about that equator, or that imaginary circle around the largest part of the Earth, right in the middle. This divides the Earth into two equal parts. There is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. These lines of latitude, as well as the equator, appear on all maps and globes and is the starting point for measuring latitude. Now, specifically, I'd like to talk about the Antarctic Circle before we end this video. This is a special line of latitude that circles the Earth near the South Pole, and all the land between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole is called Antarctica. This is a very cold, icy, and dry land, and people don't typically live here because its climate is so harsh. It's interesting because places in the Antarctic Circle can have 24 hours of daylight in December, and in June, places in the Antarctic Circle can have 24 hours of night. This also happens at the North Pole as well. And that's all we have for today. So be sure to do those 4 worksheets found at doodlingthrougheducation.com for your homework. And you can drop a comment in the comment section and let me know something you learned this week about latitude and longitude and using maps and globes to tell where you are in this world. And on that note, remember to be kind, follow God's will, and take care. Bye.